Hello and welcome back to the NBA DFS Slate Breakdown for Thursday, April 3rd. We're back. We got a 6-game slate on tap, and we're going to dive into it. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. Come join us at LionStar, $39.99 per month. Gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS. You get it all, one low price. As always, position by position, starting with point guard on this wonderful slate. We got Tyler Hero, 31% owned, versus Memphis Grizzlies. Huge pace up spot. He's a guy that's been 1.1 fantasy point per minute as a starter for a while now. Huge upside in a great spot. Makes a lot of sense to want some Tyler Hero. I'm fine with it. Next, we got Ryan Rollins, 30% owned. He's up to 5,500. He's getting it done. I don't mind some Rollins in this. He's 0.93 fantasy points per minute, playing 30 plus minutes a night. He's doing enough to keep getting it done. There's a little bit of a ceiling because he is able to get steals and blocks and generally just be a solid fantasy producer. So I'm fine going there versus a poor 76ers team. Pivot-wise, Davion Mitchell, 4,800. Guys playing big-time minutes. We got multiple guys questionable today as far as the wings. I think there's more of a path to him playing 30-plus minutes off the bench. We got him at 32 minutes. He's at 0.79 fantasy point per minute in his last 20 bench appearances. However, 0.87 over his last 5. So far, his bench appearances in Miami, he's been much more productive than he was prior. So I'm very interested in Davion Mitchell. Then we got Steph Curry, 8,900. Dude went absolutely nuclear versus Memphis the other night. I'm fine to go back here. He just has too much of a ceiling to not consider him and generally play as well against the Lakers also. So I like that spot. Ja Morant, 8,700. 8,700 with the ability to hit 50 with some sort of regularity is very interesting to me. He's in a decent spot versus the Heat. They're overall 27th versus the point guard, and his minutes are up there, 33 and 34 the last 2 nights. I'm fine going back to some Ja. Point guard on DraftKings. We got Rollins, Shaedon Sharpe, and Luka. Shaedon Sharpe, 7,100. If Anthony Simons is out, he gets a giant boost once again, and I'm fine getting some Shaedon Sharpe in this spot. Even if Simons is there, I don't mind it. There is that path to huge minutes as he's playing 37.5 minutes per game over his last 5 versus terrible Toronto. I'm interested. Next, we got 11.9 Luka. There's definitely some value on the slate, and likely more opens up. Now, Luka, super expensive for what he's been doing with LeBron on the court. With LeBron on the court, he's been, mid-high 50s, which is great. But at his price, we really need 60 plus. That ceiling is still absolutely there. So if he's going a little lower owned than what we're showing, I'm interested. Shooting guard, we got Hero, Rollins, Jacoby Walter, 4,800, 23% owned. He has played solid minutes the last 4 games as a starter. The Raptors are without a lot of guys. I think those minutes are pretty secure, and I don't mind getting some Jacoby Walter. It's a decent matchup for shooting guards as well. KCP, 4,100 versus the Wizards, who are just awful. KCP is somebody that he's getting some ownership now. And as more value opens up, I'll roll off of him. But right now, even though he's only 0.6 fantasy points per minute, I'm still getting there just because there's not a ton of cheap value. He is going to at least play 30-plus minutes, and that's interesting enough for me to get some KCP. Shaedon Sharpe we talked about, and we'll move it on over to shooting guard on DK. Walter, Taurean Prince, and Lonnie Walker. Taurean Prince, 3,800, 23% owned. Look, I would have a ton of him on DraftKings. Their 30-point ceiling or 35-point ceiling. He's playing solid minutes with the Bucks being hurt, and it's a poor 76ers team who's 29th against shooting guard. Give me some Prince. Lonnie Walker, 4,700, 20% owned. He has started the last 2 games, played mid 30 minutes, and if he's only 4,700 playing that many minutes with the ceiling that he has, I am all for it. I would be playing a lot of Lonnie Walker on this spot. Small forward on FanDuel. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. So versus the Wizards, obviously a great spot. The Wizards have been much tougher versus the power forward spot than small forward spot, so I would prefer Wagner at cheaper. But Banchero does have the giant ceiling. Personally, I think he's priced too high for his consistency of what he is scoring. Look, I am absolutely fine with mid-40s from most players, but not one that's 10K, and that's what he's given us. I would rather Wagner. Prince, we talked about, I like. Denny, 8,700. Denny ceiling without Jeremy Grant is just giant, and I'm absolutely fine going back to him at 8,700. I would much prefer him over Paolo Banchero for 1,300 more, 1,200 more. Kyle Kuzma, 6,200. I'm fine getting a little bit. I know he's able to put big fantasy performances up, even though he hasn't really done it with the Bucks. I'm fine getting a little bit. I'm not going too hard on him, though. Shaden Sharply covered. LeBron James, 9,700. The ceiling's there. He's put 50 burgers up with Luka out there as well. This should be a close, contested match. The LeBron likes to put it together versus the Warriors. If you look at what he's done, 77, 49, 59, 60, 65, 75 for his last 6 versus them. I don't mind the spot. He's good versus that team. And then Shaden Sharp, we have talked about. Small forward on DK. Walter, Kuzma, Walker, covered them all. Power forward it is. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Denny, Kuzma as a pivot, and then obviously Giannis. Look, at only 400 more, I think Giannis is likely the better play over Luka, but they're 12-point favorites. So that is the issue here. 76ers will likely have to stay in this game some way for Giannis to hit that, 70-point ceiling that he has. So that is my only worry with Giannis. So if I'm playing Giannis, I probably want a 76ers player to just, keep them in that game. And some correlation with Giannis, I think, is the way that he becomes a optimal play. Pivot-wise, talked about LeBron. We got Draymond Green, 6,600. Look, we keep going back to him. He keeps producing. Somehow the field doesn't like going to him. It's a much tougher spot versus the Lakers, but he does get up to play the Lakers and consistently in mid-30s or plus against them. I'm fine with going Draymond. Santi Aldama, 5,700. He is back to the bench, but he's playing still big minutes. 30 minutes, 36 minutes, 26. There's a huge ceiling. Average scoring spot coming off the bench, power forward versus the Heat. So I'm fine going to Aldama. It's a little bit of a salary saver. Power forward on DK. Giannis, Kuzma, Banchero. We're getting on over to center. Wendell Carter Jr., 5,200, 22% owned. He is an absolutely great spot, but this man just doesn't have much of a ceiling, and I can't lock that in my center spot. So him going high owned is crazy to me. I'm not doing it. Brook Lopez, 6,100, 18% owned. I'm fine if you want a little bit. I'm not going too hard on him personally, not with Giannis there as well. If Giannis is out, I'm all in on Brook. But Giannis is probable. Rudy Gobert, 7K. He's been playing real big minutes the last, 4 games. Naz Reid should be back, which will, maybe take him from 38 minutes to 36, something like that. If he plays 35-plus minutes versus the Nets, you got to like that spot. Nets been terrible versus center. Little interested in him. Got to say that. Donovan Clingan, 5,800. 9% in just an amazing spot for these Toronto Raptors. He played 29 minutes last game 2 nights ago, 33 before that. We are seeing games where they're really letting him get some run. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, he can get that run, and it's a great spot. The upside is giant at this price. I'm finding some clinging. Draymond we covered, Santi we covered, and center on DK. Zach Edey, 4,500. Super interesting, Zach Edey. Look, 32 minutes versus the Warriors, 13 versus Boston, in foul trouble, 4 fouls in 13 minutes. But then 26 versus the Lakers. They appear to trying to get him going a little bit, trying to give him a little more minutes. Foul trouble is an issue, but in a spot versus the Heat, I could see him getting those minutes. He's just got to stay out of foul trouble. 4,500 is a bit cheap for the ceiling that he has. He has legit 10x upside at 4,500, so very interested. Giannis, Randall. Randall's fine, 7,800. 3 huge games in a row, but those minutes are going to come back down. Probably around 30, 32 today. I'm fine getting some Randall as well. And that will do it for us today, guys. Hope you guys had a good one. We will be back Friday with more. Talk to y'all later. Peace.